Don't believe your lying eyes, says the British shitlib, when talking about the obvious increased levels of crime in the United Kingdom. We have some statistics. Look at this chart. This chart shows that your life isn't growing more dangerous, that there aren't more crimes happening where you live, that actually the world is getting better the more we diversify it. Don't you understand? This is the plan. This is how things should go. And you, worried about crime, have, as Lewis Goodall here says, imported this narrative from Donald Trump, that things are getting worse, that things are more dangerous. And this is so preposterous. This is such an obvious false narrative that Lewis is trying to set up here. The idea that the rising feeling of criminality and insecurity in Britain is something we needed Donald Trump to bring across. Absolutely preposterous. Everyone feels it, Lewis. Everyone feels it. I mean, we covered on the podcast the other day. We went to London over on the weekend and we saw at least 3 different incidents where it was just... I mean, there was one where there was a migrant attacking people outside of the conference place that we were at and he got tasered, right? But there were other small but significant interactions that were just like, right, okay, these people are on the edge and they hate one another, and it actually looks like it could, like, just things that are just massively outside of what is acceptable. And that's not even including the guy actually attacking someone and getting tased by the cops after smashing their wing mirror. And the guy acted like the cops were on his side. He was pointing... Anyway, we covered it on the podcast. But the point is, everyone can feel it, right? The increased levels of tension and the increased potential for criminality. It's everywhere. And so saying, oh no, this is just a Trump import... Nonsense. And it got a huge amount of backlash. So unsurprisingly, Lewis was like, oh, so many sad little bots here triggered. Right, okay, so you're saying they're not bots if they're triggered, because you know the bots aren't triggered, right? Like, you know that you're lying, you know you're just sneering down at people from your ivory tower, but, oh, they're triggered by the actual facts about a city they certainly don't live in and probably haven't visited in years, if ever. Pathetic. Okay, I visit London all the time, unfortunately, and every time something happens. Like, there's always some event that you could just witness on the street. You're just like, oh, I'm glad that wasn't me. And then you can say all you want about the numbers, but there are lots of different kinds of numbers, aren't there, Lewis? Right? Because we went through the statistics yesterday. Certain crimes might be down in a sort of percentile manner, but the absolute numbers of these crimes are still really, really high, meaning that they happen basically every day. I mean, like multiple times every day, in fact. And then you've got some statistics that are just harrowing. Like, for example, the rape of a female aged 16 or over is more than 4 times greater than it was in the early 2000s. The more diversified London becomes, the more women get raped. That's just a fact. That's a fact from your own statistics, Lewis. Even if, like, you know, burglaries are down by 20%, or robberies, at least robberies that are reported, are down. Like, again, not all crime is the same, but also no one believes you. No one believes that this is just things getting better. And my God, if this is things getting better, I hate to think about what it looks like when they get worse. And so you see loads of these sort of British shit libs, Morgoth calls them Brit libs, who are just, they've come out and like, oh no, hang on a second. The right-wing narrative now is that Britain is lawless. Every day they're saying this whilst having never experienced crime. The only lawlessness I can see are their MPs and councillors standing in the middle of busy roads making videos. Don't fall for it. Right, so now that the right are like, you know what, guys, I think this crime wave is a bit out of control. Now it's something that's not happening. Now it's just false. Now, you don't have to go very far back, like 6 months, 8 months ago, see Don saying, the reason crime is so high and prisons are full is that the courts are backlogged and the police are outnumbered. The Tories broke it. Right, so when it was the Tories' fault, the crime was high. Now, everyone's like, yeah, guys, the crime is still high. And you can't really blame it on the Tories because Labour have been in for a year. Now it's just not happening. Like, they keep saying it. Like, the police are tackling the huge crime rate. Oh, there is a huge crime rate. He says, again, end of last year. End of last year, the country is suffering because of the Tories. They've decimated the police force, and therefore the crime is up. Sorry, Don, right? Everyone knows that the crime is up, and everyone can see that this is you desperately trying to cover it up for partisan political reasons. Oh, the Labour Party are in charge, therefore crime is down. I mean, he himself has been mugged multiple times in London. And he's like, no, crime isn't the problem. Well, it was a problem back in like November and December last year. But now that Keir Starmer's in charge, crime isn't a problem. Even though I personally have been mugged twice. I've never been mugged, Don. It's not normal to have been mugged. Like, it's not normal at all. And you get other ones like Matthew Stadlin. Again, another Britlib who's just like, look at this graph. Look at this graph. The graph says it's safer than ever. The more immigrants we can cram in to the country, the safer the country gets. But of course, Matthew himself has been the victim of a phone theft on the street. Had my phone snatched out of my hand from behind by a man on a motorbike this afternoon. Oh, right, okay. I guess we know who did that. Some of the comments from here are really in the gutter. It happened too quickly. I didn't notice his skin colour. It's okay, Matthew. It's okay. I'm gonna try and use my magic powers of racism to divine the skin colour for you. I couldn't give two hoots what colour his skin was. I just want him to be found and jailed. Narrator, he wasn't found and jailed. He got away with this. Like, nothing happened. Nothing. Obviously he wasn't found and jailed because 95% of crimes in this country just go unprosecuted. Obviously nothing happened. And the thing is, it gets worse. Like, you've got like Benjamin Butterworth, another Britlib, just got mugged on a post-work walk down the South Bank. This was in 2022. 3 men punched me, strangled me until I couldn't breathe and threatened me with a knife, stole my phone and even ran off with my glasses. Like, that's terrible. And the thing is, this isn't the only time this happened to him. Back in 2019, someone threatened to stab him for being gay. It's like, God, man. Like, this is getting out of control. And even the British shitlib is like, yeah, okay, it does keep happening to me. I do keep getting robbed, mugged, and threatened. God only knows when this gets worse. But this is a far-right narrative. This is just Trumpism being exported over to Britain. Just ignore the amount of times I personally have been fucking mugged. Like, this is mental. You sound like people in a hostage situation. Like, this isn't normal. You shouldn't be doing this. This shouldn't be happening to you. This is mental. And it's not just you. Obviously, I mean, like, Tesco's is putting like the security tag nets over cheese and over steaks and beef and all that sort of stuff. It's like, okay, so they are responding to an incentive, right? Like, if they obviously, it's the same with, like, you know, the call them smash and grabs, but they just walk in and just take stuff and walk out in like Greggs or wherever, and no one cares. No one cares, and everyone's just like, well, I mean, that's just part and parcel of living in a big city. No wonder it doesn't show up in the bloody crime statistics, but you can tell that there is a problem because otherwise they wouldn't be doing this. If theft wasn't a massive problem in this country, they wouldn't be doing this. If we weren't crime-ridden, they wouldn't be doing this. Look at this. Like, even in charity shops, they're padlocking items. So that's crazy, isn't it? That's, like, anyway, just whatever. The point of all of this is that your hyper-narrative of, no, we have statistics, which we assume represent the real world, and we are going to commit to irrespective of your experience. In fact, of our experience of the real world, we are going to commit to this as the authority on what is actually happening. Don't believe your lying eyes. It doesn't matter how many times we personally have been mugged. It doesn't matter how many times we personally get things stolen or are threatened with knives. It doesn't matter. We are committed to the hyper-narrative, and you are just a sad little triggered bot. And there is just nothing for us to say about this, because we live on these statistics. We receive them as if they're tablets down from Sinai, from God himself, as if this is like, again, as if this can be certain that this is the case, whilst we ourselves are being mugged, and everyone's like, God, this is really getting out of control. Something needs to be done about this crime. And it's like, no, nothing needs to be done about the crime. There is no crime. You are just a far-right mouthpiece. Like, I'm sorry, but this is preposterous. I mean, it's very gauche to make 1984 references these days because they're just so commonplace, but this really does sound like the party telling you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. Like, the final thing is to just believe the party above everything. That's what this comes across like. Don, and Matthew, and Lewis, everyone can see the difference. We're living through it. We experience it when we go to London. It is part of the life of living in Britain now, but in a diversified city, that you just expect a heightened level of crime. Everyone knows you're lying to yourselves and to us, and we know you're lying, and yet you're still lying.